What's up, guys? Mott here. Welcome to the Mott Show on a Tuesday. Final day of the Italian vacation. Back in the studio tomorrow. But the Eagles had a crazy joint practice, fight-filled day with the Indianapolis Colts. Let's jump into everything that happened today, starting with Brandon Deeg's tweet here, showcasing the big picture. And then we'll get into the actual individual fights and how the Eagle offense looked versus the Colts defense and vice versa. Here's the overall recap. DeVonta Smith dominated in 11-on-11s. When I say dominated, I mean dominated. A couple of Moss-type catches for touchdowns over Colts receivers in 11-on-11s. The breakout year that he's going to have after having an incredible year this past season with 95 total catches, a franchise record. Really, really good stuff there from Smitty. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter both sacked Anthony Richardson. Sidney Brownlee had a huge hit on Mo Alley-Cox and got even more first-team reps. Another great day from Jalen Hurts. And two fights. Yes, two fights, and both of them were kind of started and instigated by Philadelphia. Let's go ahead and dive into those. The first of which was, guess who? Derek Barnett. Electro Park says this. Looked like Barnett might have hit Richardson to get the ball out. Colts didn't like it. Barnett gets into a fight. Tons of Eagles run over, including Jalen Carter, who had to be held back. Practice getting feisty. There were a lot of comments on this tweet saying, of course, it's Derek Barnett. Listen, you can't really blame the Colts for being upset here. You don't touch the quarterback. Even if you're trying to sack him and get to the football, you still do not touch the quarterback who's going to be in a red jerseys as both Richardson and Jalen Hurts were. This is a bad look for Derek Barnett. He's still going to make the roster. Let's not panic about it. But nonetheless, I think this one was 100% on the Eagles' fault. Nice to see them back up their teammates, though. Nick Sirianni spoke about that. He liked seeing that, but a bad look for Barnett nonetheless. Now, the other fight, a lot more surprising. Jason Kelce, according to Jeff McClain, blindsided the Colts defender out of nowhere after he hit Kenny Gainwell a little late again. Full-out bench clearing. Now, this is a little bit different. This is protecting your boy. This is coming up and helping Kenny Gainwell after a slightly late hit. This was not a super late hit. It was a little bit late hit, and Kelce didn't like it, came over and laid out the Colts defender to go ahead and start what was a bench-clearing brawl. This basically ended practice for Philadelphia. This was it afterwards. And Jason Kelce, he had a very, let's just say, mature take on this whole thing. Here's what he said after practice.
At the end there.
I think tensions just got the better of me. Certainly, we try and keep things civil on the field, and I think for me, I pride myself on being a guy that sustains the emotion and the level of play out there, and I let my emotions get the better of me. That certainly doesn't belong out there on the field, and just a little bit ashamed that it got to that level, and that I did what I did. So certainly, not happy about that. And I think very highly of the guys that were out there, in particular 44 Zaire. I think he's a tremendous player. I think all of their guys up front, and they brought a lot of intensity to the day, which made the practice intense. And I think I didn't handle things properly there at the end.
Obviously, class act. I'm sure he went up and apologized as well, and I'm sure that he, moved on from this. Just kind of tempers flaring a little bit there, but crazy to see Jason Kelce in probably his final year after, a billion seasons in the National Football League lose his temper a little bit, but he's protecting his guys. You gotta love that. Now, Kenny G, I love his quote after the practice with the Colts and the fight. Listen to this.
And just keep each other safe, and man, we're a team. We ain't gonna let nobody come in our house and take over, but we're gonna continue to work hard each and every day. We whoop their ass up.
We'll continue to work hard each and every day. We whooped their ass, though. Love that. And they did. I mean, honestly, they absolutely did. They did a fantastic job getting after the Indianapolis Colts today, playing some really, really good football and showcasing why, if this would have been an actual regular season game, just based on 11-on-11s, Philadelphia would have won pretty handedly. I think this could have been a 31-17 kind of victory for the Eagles against their former offensive coordinator, now head coach, Shane Steichen, against the Indianapolis Colts. Speaking of just people getting their butt whooped, how about A.J. Brown? Look at this pass from Jalen Hurts. There's a couple of catches here that are, one, dead on accurate, and Hurts' accuracy, even though people still don't want to admit, is absolutely fantastic. But two, Jalen Hurts in one-on-ones is absolutely incredible. And there's another one with a one-handed catch with the stickum gloves. I mean, really, really impressive stuff here. We mentioned A.J. Brown a little bit earlier. Sorry, DeVonta Smith a little bit earlier here. But A.J. Brown also had an absolute field day, and Jalen Hurts played very, very well against the Indianapolis Colts. Continue to kind of showcase why Philadelphia is going to be a good football team this year. And they're going to play play well against bad football teams. And the Colts are not necessarily a trash football team. If Jonathan Taylor were to not be traded, which is a whole different story, they could actually have some serious talent on the starting offensive line, the running game. Receivers are a little bit iffy here, but they're not a bad team, right? They could definitely compete in their division, maybe be runner-ups to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they're still not a playoff team, right? And that's kind of the focus here. Philadelphia last year absolutely destroyed non-playoff teams. Think of the Tennessee Titan game this past season. They obliterated them, right, as they rightfully should. Think about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They obliterated them as they rightfully should. This is exactly what would have happened had this actually been a normal regular season game. The question for Philadelphia is going to be, how will they perform against the good football teams in the NFL, and that remains yet to be seen. Now, before we go ahead and keep going, got to mention, Thursday night, 2 nights from now, the final preseason game against these very same Indianapolis Colts, we're giving away our Eagles regular season tickets. If you've been entering in during any of our live shows, we're doing the drawing during the live stream of the Thursday night game. If you've not entered, be sure to go ahead and join us, because we're going to pick one lucky Eagles fan who subbed to both mine and Josh's channel, and they're going to win 2 Eagles tickets to any Eagles game during the regular season this year. The game of your choice. We're finally drawing that. Don't be late for the evening kickoff of the Colts and Eagles game on, I believe, Prime Video. Now, overall wrap-up here from Elliott Shore Parks on the Eagles versus Colts joint practice. Overall, Eagles were a very clearly better team. I don't think the Colts' first-team offense got a single legit touchdown, mostly all checkdowns and quarterback runs due to pressure. Eagles offense won all of the 11-on-11 drills, mostly because DeVonta and Hurts were just way better than the Colts defenders. The Eagles weren't super sharp, but they didn't need to be against the Colts. Easy win, decision, Eagles win. Hurts and Sirianni's record together in joint practices, because Elliott Shore Parks keeps track of these things, is 8-2. And so a couple of big takeaways here. Again, seemingly is Jalen Hurts looking fantastic. The Eagles offensive line and the receivers looking very, very good. DeAndre Swift had a couple of nice catches out of the backfield. He's going to be a mega weapon for Philadelphia. But the big takeaway here, really, in my opinion, was one, the defensive line. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter combination is going to be used a lot more than I even kind of thought going into this year, because there were times that Jalen Carter got more reps than Fletcher Cox. And 2, as mentioned earlier, how about Kenny Gainwell getting up and then getting hit a little bit late, coming over Jason Kelce, protecting him? You'll be able to see the camaraderie there. And Sidney Brown, even more starting reps. We're starting to kind of really trend towards the idea that Sidney Brown could be the actual day one, crazy as it may be, day one safety starter for Philadelphia. Finally, your 2 starting linebackers, Nakobe Dean and Zach Cunningham. Yet again, that seems to be the official first team for the Eagles linebackers based on what we've seen from practice over the past couple of days, really dating back to a week or so. Okay, plenty more stuff happening as I'm finally back in the United States. Had an absolutely incredible Italian vacation. Can we tell you guys about that during my next show? We're going to be back in the studio. We're going to be doing the live show on Thursday night during the Eagles game. And then we're 2 weeks away from Eagles football. I mean, it's coming up very, very soon. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button down below as well. You're not going to want to miss all the great stuff happening here. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.